In the headlines, President Buhari sends ministerial lists to Senate for screening. Chief Justice of Nigeria replies to allegations of corruption. Passengers stranded as fuel scarcity hits Lagos. And on the foreign scene, French president rejects Prime Minister's resignation after losing parliamentary majority. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. President Muhammad Buhari has written to the Senate seeking the confirmation of 7 ministerial nominees. The nominees are Henry Ikechukwu, Abia State; Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State; Ekuma Joseph, Ebonyi State; Goodluck Nana Obia, Imo State; Umar Ibrahim Yakub, Kano State; Ademola Adewale, Ondo State; Udo Udi, Rivers State. The Senate has, however, not fixed a date for the screening exercise. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has nominated Senator Philip Aduda as the new minority leader to fill the vacant seat created by Senator Enyinanya Abariba's defection. Also, the party nominated Senator Chukwuka Utazi as the new Senate Minority Whip. More details to follow in our other bulletins. The chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, is not admitting that names of some persons have been smuggled into the party's list of candidates submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The APC national chairman was not forthcoming with answers when he led a delegation to present Governor-elect of Ekiti State, Abiodun Abayomi Oyebanji, to President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday at State House, Abuja. Kainde Amadou reports.
President Buhari keenly followed Saturday's polls in Ekiti State and is delighted with the orderly conduct of the elections. He's also impressed with how the electorate and security agencies comported themselves. This is the first electoral victory of the party under the leadership of Senator Abdullahi Adamu. He is pledging that the victory will be replicated in Osun State next month. On the other hand, the governor-elect believes that the elections demonstrated that the APC is still the party of choice. The clear victory, he stressed, is a positive signal to the elections in Osun State and the national polls next year.
The last time I was here, I said that if performance will be an indicator for electoral success, that we have nothing to fear. So as far as we are concerned in APC, we did not involve in vote buying, but we've done so well, and we have a manifesto that pleases our people.
Beyond the celebrations, however, are allegations of the name of Senate President Ahmed Lawan appearing on the list of APC candidates sent to INEC, despite not participating in party primaries. It is a query the national chairman is not positively inclined to.
Everything we've done so far, we've done very carefully with legal consultation, and we're cocksure. We are not going to have the kind of speculation that you are, professing at this point in time. We are very comfortable with what we've done. You see, it's still pessimism.
Senator Adamu's elusive response to questions about names being smuggled into the candidates list of the APC may mean something is amiss, but all will be revealed in the weeks to come. From State House, Abuja, Kainde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, prospective voter card registrants in Zamfara State are again appealing to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to increase the number of registration officers to fast-track the registration exercise to enable more people register. They made the appeal while speaking with Trust TV News at some registration centers in Gusau, the Zamfara State capital, when they took advantage of the one-week public holiday declared by the state government for civil servants to enroll in the continuous voters registration. The report.
Zamfara state government had last week declared one-week public holiday to enable civil servants who have not participated in the continuous voters registration to do so. The one work-free week in Zamfara state begins this Monday, 20th June to Friday, the 24th June 2022. Many residents of the states were trooping in at the different continuous voters registration centers in the Gusau metropolis to participate in the exercise. They observed that there is need for the Independent National Electoral Commission to add more manpower to make the enrollment faster and easier for prospective registrants in the state.
I have hope, but what I heard from people is that it's today it will be for men, that tomorrow women should come back. But still, we want to find out and ask so that we'll be sure. Because I heard from people, we are waiting to see, maybe we can see one of the officials from inside to know what we'll be able to come, how to come tomorrow, and then what we'll come with, and then the time.
The head of voter education and publicity, Bello Ibrahim, disclosed that 5 additional data capturing machines have been deployed to Zamfara state to help speed up the exercise. On the issue of underage registrations, he said the commission had put in place mechanisms to ensure that no underage person gets registered in Zamfara state.
So we are calling on people to avoid that. If you know you have registered, do not come and register. Unless if you have issue of transfer or any commission or omission in your particulars, maybe the name or the age or occupation or whatever. Or maybe you registered in Lagos and you want to transfer to Zamfara. Come and tell us. Or you registered in Zamfara and you now want to transfer to Lagos. We will address that.
We are trying our best. We have almost 10 login that we are using. Here in the center, this is the main center. So we have almost 8 to 10 points where people are being registered. So the issue we are having, some of them will not come in time, and we normally open the center by 9 o'clock and we close by 3. But due to the crowd, sometimes we used to close the center by 5 p.m. because whoever is here, our aim here is to make sure that everybody that comes to the registration center has got his PVC.
At the various centers of the continuous voters registration visited, Trust TV News observed that most of the prospective registrants were youth who were eager to enroll, while others were there to collect their PVCs.
Meanwhile, leaders of Fulani communities in the southwest Nigeria have urged members of their communities throughout the region who are 18 years and above to make sure they obtain their PVC or validate where necessary. The Sarkin Fulani in Lagos and Chairman Council of Fulani Chiefs in the southwest, Alhaji Mohammed Bambadu II, disclosed this on Sunday while interacting with the leaders of Fulani communities from 5 southwest states and Kwara in his palace in Lagos. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Alibi now reports.
The Sarkin Fulani of Lagos, Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar Bambado, said the Fulani communities in Southwest, as members of the larger Nigerian society, commiserate with the government and the people of Ondo State over the gruesome murder of worshippers at Francis Catholic Church at Owo and other parts of the country in which innocent citizens are killed on daily basis.
As members of the larger Nigerian society, we commiserate with the government and people of Ondo State over the gruesome murder of people at Francis Catholic Church at Owo on Sunday, the 15th of June 2022, and other parts of the country in which innocent citizens are killed on daily basis.
Bambado added that the only way to record the much desired progress, prosperity and development on all fronts is to eschew bitterness and embrace peace.
Is to ensure bitterness and embrace peace. We all have a role to play to achieve this within the city, wherever we may domicile in the country.
Alhaji Muhammadu Bambado disclosed that the Fulani communities in the Southwest will perform their civic duty by participating in the 2023 electoral process to ensure that the right leaders emerge.
We must all make it a point of duty to perform our civic duty by participating in the electoral process. We should take this message to our different homes on the need for eligible voters in our communities to get their permanent voters card, PVC. As you are all aware, the PVC is the only ticket that empowers us as eligible voters recognized to vote at the polls.
Some of the leaders told Trust TV that most of their members have no PVC due to lack accessibility and technical know-how, as many were left behind as they don't know how to register their PVC online. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
And the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, has responded to 14 justices of the Supreme Court bench who had accused him of depriving them of their entitlements. The justices said their annual foreign training meant to enhance capacity building for the country's judicial process had been blocked by Justice Mohammed, while there had been no increase in their allowance for diesel and a lack of internet services to their residences and chambers. The justices also complained that they were plagued by accommodation problems, epileptic electricity supply to the Supreme Court, lack of drugs at the Supreme Court clinic, while their run-down vehicles had not been replaced. The writing of a protest letter by justices of the Supreme Court is very unusual, which is why the CJN refrained from joining issues with the justices until the letter was leaked. The response of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, contained in a statement by his media aide, Ahuraka Yusuf Isa, reminded his accusers that judges in all climes were to be seen and not heard. Justice Mohammed pointed out that, nevertheless, he had managed the resources at the disposal of the Apex Court effectively, adding that the Supreme Court was also affected by the socio-economic and socio-political climate prevailing in the country. Gunmen have released the head of Zira village in Toro local government area of Bauchi State, Yahya Abubakar, and his son Habibu. Confirming their release, Public Relations Officer, Bauchi State Command, SP Ahmad Wakil, said they were released on Tuesday morning and have been reunited with their family. It is unclear if a ransom was paid by the family of the village head before they were released. Gunmen invaded and attacked Zira at about 2 a.m. on Saturday and kidnapped the village head and his son. Meanwhile, Tukur Mamu, Kaduna-based publisher who negotiated the release of 11 of the passengers who were abducted from a train in March, says some of the victims have been bitten by snakes. According to Mamu, there are many snakes in the forest where the captives are being held, adding that snakes usually appear at night and the victims have no option but to use local treatment methods. The negotiator said these snake bites can be life-threatening, where he called on government to intervene as a matter of urgency, as lack of proper treatment coupled with poor nutrition, poor sanitary conditions make the victims vulnerable. The corpses of the 4 out of 6 victims of a boat accident along the Utwan and Ayama communities of Southern Youre Local Government Council in Bayelsa State have been found. Of the 4 victims, 2 were identified to be corps members. It was gathered that the boat accident, which occurred on Saturday at about 4 p.m., was reportedly caused by bad weather, poor visibility, and lack of life jackets for the passengers. You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, how technology impacts on newspaper vending. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. President Buhari sends ministerial list to Senate for screening. And Chief Justice of Nigeria replies to allegations of corruption. Moving on to other news now. Fuel scarcity, which has spread to Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, over the weekend, is now biting harder, with motorists spending nights at filling stations. Our correspondent, Abdulatif Aliu, reports that many stations have run out of the commodity, while black marketers now make brisk sales. A check by our correspondent within Ikeja and its environs indicated that most petrol stations have closed down because they have run out of stock. However, some few filling stations dispensing have long queues of between 500 meters to almost 1 kilometer, as both commercial and private vehicle owners scramble to get fuel. With overwhelming queues in all the filling stations dispensing stretching up to a few kilometers, black marketers are taking advantage, making quick money by selling to desperate motorists who have run out of fuel. A 5-litre gallon goes for 2,500 naira to 3,000, depending on the bargaining power of the buyer. Daily Trust reports that the scarcity has worsened in the last 24 hours as Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) said it is no longer sustainable to sell the product at the official price of 165 to 166 naira per litre. Newspaper vending is an old business which has been a source of living for many around the globe and in Nigeria. However, the technological advancement of the 21st century has adversely affected the business, losing customers to online newspaper platforms. Ibrahim takes a look at the struggles some newspaper vendors go through to remain in business despite all odds. The report.
60-year-old Balamai Jarida has been a newspaper vendor since 1980. When he was a teenager, his dream was to become a journalist. Even though his dream was not realized, Bala found solace in newspaper vending. When I was a kid in primary school, they used to ask us in class about what we want to become in the future. Some will choose farming, but I said I want to be a journalist. They call me Balamai Jarida. Since then, I became a vendor. He said despite the threat to the newspaper vending by the digital technology, he still makes fortune in the business. The business has some setbacks. In Gombe, I used to receive 500 copies of Daily Trust newspaper daily. I distribute to vendors and agents in Iliri, Kaltungo, Kumo and Nashaka. But due to the mobile technology, sales have dropped. The companies also cut the supply. Now I only receive 30, 35 to 40 copies.
Yanzu duka abin da nake samu baya wuce kwafi 30, 35, 40. Alhamdulillah.
Thanks to Allah, I achieved a lot and I still make fortunes. I fend for myself, married second and third wife, bought farm and piece of land. I am still in the business.
Aure na farko amma na gida la da noma amma nayi na ɗaya da na biyu duk a cikin jarida. Na sayi gona kuma na sayi fili har yanzu duk a cikin jarida. Ko da yace ban gina filin ba.
Although technology poses a threat, but we still make progress.
Even
with the drop in revenue generation in newspaper vending, Balamai Jarida is very optimistic the job will continue to put food on the table. He believes that newspapers have more merits than online publications, calling on stakeholders to save their businesses from extinction. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail, reporting for Trust TV.
And now to health matters, where a total of 41 confirmed cases of monkeypox and 1 death have so far been recorded across the country this year. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and CDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, stated this on Monday during the Federal Ministry of Health's bi-weekly COVID-19 update in Abuja. He said among the 41 cases so far reported in 2022, there had been no evidence of any new or unusual transmission of the virus, or no changes in its clinical manifestation documented in Nigeria as compared to other countries. He added that no death had been recorded from COVID-19 in the last 5 weeks. Association of Bauchi Slaughter Slabs has appealed to the state government to come to their aid in the area of environmental hygiene and sanitary exercise for the benefit of all humanity. They made the appeal when a group of public health students from the University of Ibadan Study Center visited the chicken slab at Mudalawal Market. Adamu Imam completes the report.
The students were at the chicken slaughter's lab to see how animal carcass is prepared for human consumption as part of their continuous assessment. Chairman of the association, Sani Mohammed, acknowledged that the environment is not conducive in terms of hygiene for a business that handles consumable like meat, and call on the state government to complement the effort of the group to ensure that the environment is healthy. We need government to help us keep this place clean because it is not healthy enough. As a business that involves everybody, keeping this place clean will be more attractive for customers. The student class representative Ibrahim Mohammed also advised the association to adopt personal hygiene measures as well as a workable system that will help maintain their workplace.
Places where these chickens are being slaughtered, not only the place but the method of handling the chickens, possibly as it affects public health issues. That's because of this, and to see how we can advise them to do what they can do within their own limits, and then forward the sport authority on what is needed to be done here, but they in person cannot handle themselves.
Some of the students explained some of the things they observe in relation to the public health of the slaughter operators and patronizing publics, and encourage them to make sure that the environment is friendly for customers.
Means of PPE, that's personal protective equipment, and to provide the means of way of slaughtering their carcass and the chickens, because it's too poor and it's too dirty. They may be in the midst of getting contagious to diseases. So please, we have to take note of that. Not waiting for the government to provide it, because they are necessary to provide it, not for the government.
The association promised to encourage their members, who are mainly young adults, to partner the Slaughter Slab Association to improve their work environment. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And a total of 40 children from the Durumi IDP camp in Abuja have completed training on the acquisition of various skills to improve their livelihood. The training was organized by Pathfinder International and implemented under its Empowered Choices project. Sagir Ibrahim reports.
As part of the implementation of its Empowered Choices project, Pathfinder International, in collaboration with the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency FEMA, has graduated the first set of 40 children from the Durumi IDP camp on various skills.
This intervention is called Empowered Choices. And why this intervention? If children, in this case children, do not have the information to make decisions about their lives, if they are not empowered with information and with knowledge, they will not be able to be well informed and to take decisions that will positively impact on their lives in the future.
The Director General of FEMA, Abbas Idris, also called on IDPs to take advantage of the administration's initiatives for out-of-school children to enroll more IDPs in school.
That there is existing which we have been enrolling, which we have enrolled 1,124 already. So I am urging those that are not really, that have not keyed in, if there are parents here that their children are not going to school, they should key into the program so that we enroll them into the public school. The impact of this, skills acquisition, especially for these young ones, is very important to their lives. And not only because they are children of the displaced parents, but even for their own future life.
The Empowered Choices project focused on training the children on different skills ranging from shoemaking, soap making, reusable sanitary pad making, hygiene, among others.
And now a look at the foreign scene, where French President Emmanuel Macron has rejected the resignation offer from Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne before talks with the opposition seeking to end the deadlock sparked by his failure to secure a majority in parliamentary elections. The development comes on Tuesday as Macron hosts far-right leader Marine Le Pen and other political party chiefs for rare talks at the Élysée Palace as he seeks solutions to an unprecedented situation that risks plunging his second term into crisis 2 months after it began. Macron's Together alliance won 244 seats, well short of the 289 needed for an overall majority in a low turnout vote that resulted in an abstention rate of 53.77%. And in sports, transgender players have been banned from women's internationals while Rugby League's governing body does further research on its inclusion policy. International Rugby League said it wanted to balance the individual's right to participate against perceived risk to other participants. The move comes as several sports are considering transgender inclusion. The ban will apply to the World Cup in England in October, which involves teams from Australia, Brazil, Canada, Cook Islands, England, France, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. Transgender swimmers were on Sunday banned from women's elite races if they have gone through male puberty. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.